First tonight, as the inventor James Dyson is accused of turning his back on Britain by building his new electric car in Singapore, news tonight that Swedish car designers are setting up shop here. Silverstone has been chosen as the pilot plant to produce the Uniti One. It's a major investment in Northamptonshire's technology cluster and is expected to create hundreds of jobs. So what potential have they seen in the UK that Dyson didn't? Well, Jonathan Park has been finding out.
It looks like one of those smart cars. This one, though, doesn't run on petrol or diesel, just battery power, and it can drive itself. Just, we're not ready for that bit yet. It's called the Uniti One. This one has 2 seats and could change the way we think about moving from A to B.
We see that the shift towards electric vehicles is a positive one, but certainly we feel it makes sense for them to be really designed for their Achilles heel, which is the battery and the infrastructure, to make sure they're as efficient as possible, make sure they're agile and lightweight, they fit in our lives and they fit in our cities better. And then in terms of the physical design and the user interaction, we feel that it might be time to catch up with the smartphone era. So less buttons and levers and much more of a digital first experience.
So why is this potentially a big deal for Silverstone? Because 300,000 of these compact electric vehicles could roll off the production line here every year from 2020. That means jobs, 200 at the plant, plus hundreds more in the local supply chain. Take Kieran's company in Brackley.
I have a motorsport background and our company has come from a lightweighting and composites background in motorsports, and we're transferring that technology into automotive more and more. And on the Uniti vehicle, we're very excited to say that the chassis platform and the primary vehicle structures will be using our Top Cat chassis platform.
The electric car revolution is gathering pace, with the Silverstone Technology Cluster becoming a big player. The key to Uniti's plan, creating a blueprint that can be uploaded by other assembly plants around the world as the company grows.
Everything for a car is designed digitally, so therefore we mould it all together using Siemens software to create a digital twin, which means the entire contents of how you make a car is available as data in the cloud. So gone are the days of big sheets of paper and drawings, and it's all stored virtually in the cloud.
And so that's why anybody around the world can make your car?
Absolutely. So we'll work with franchisees around the world. We can pull data down, draw data up. We can monitor what's going on in any factory anywhere.
Grand plans and a major boost for Silverstone Park, who are developing more and more of the land outside the racetrack here. So Ros, Silverstone roundabout. Welcome to Silverstone there. Uniti here, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. This is the site that's been earmarked for Uniti, and we've just been hearing today about the exciting things they plan to do. They're going to be able to put a 76,000 square foot building right here at the front gates to the circuit, and what better location? It's going to give them all that prominence and visibility that they want.
Uniti say reinventing the car starts with reinventing the car company, and Sweden's loss could well be Silverstone's gain.
That's Jonathan Park reporting. Well, I want to bring our political reporter Tom Barton in on this because, Tom, we've got this Swedish company saying building its electric car in our region will make it Brexit-proof. By contrast, just earlier today, James Dyson, the inventor, is going to be building his new electric car in Singapore. Why are they taking such different paths with this?
Well, interestingly, in a way, they've made different decisions, but kind of for the same reason. So Dyson today said that their decision was based on the availability of engineering talent, the local supply chains and the proximity to their key target markets. Now, that's really what Uniti are doing as well. They're basing themselves in Silverstone because they want to be close to the supply chains around there. They think it's got the right talent there, and they're planning to sell these cars in the UK. And so, you know, for them, this is an opportunity to focus on this market. And yeah, they've ended up in a different place to Dyson, but really for the same reasons.
So, I mean, it's a big question really, but what, if anything, does all of this tell us about Brexit? Well,
you might argue that this shows that, at least in this instance, Brexit is bringing some jobs to the UK. You know, perhaps if Britain had voted to remain, it was staying in the single market, then Uniti would have looked at what they were planning to do, looked at the suppliers in Silverstone and said, well, you know, we're in a single market, we can easily move these products around Europe, take them to Sweden and build these cars in Sweden. But it also shows us really the difference between new companies and old companies. So this is a new company. Dyson are starting to make their first electric cars. And, you know, they're very relaxed about building, about Brexit. By contrast, you've got much more established car makers like BMW and Jaguar Land Rover who are really, really worried. And they're worried because they have over many years, decades, built up these supply chains which take parts from all over Europe, bring them to Britain and build cars. And they are really worried that Brexit could disrupt those supply chains by making it just harder to move those bits and bobs, widgets, if you like, around the continent to their factories in Europe.
It's one to watch. Tom, for now, thank you very much indeed.